everyone, I'm Megan O'Leary, and here's what you need to know for your UFC Minute. It came as a shock to the MMA community when this fighter left his longtime gym recently. But that surprise was nothing compared to the reaction felt around the globe when he agreed to fight his longtime training partner in a compelling matchup that highlights this weekend's UFC card at Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario. That's it for today. Stay tuned for your next UFC Minute, and I'll see you at the fights.
Coming up next, it's a UFC light heavyweight division collision.
Back to his feet again. Amazing.
Huge right hand.
He tapped him. Beautiful KO for the victory early in the first.
Yeah, we're just getting going, and now the fight's over, but excellent striking technique to land that shot and ultimately finish the fight here in the first. You've heard us say it before, but sometimes...
To become a legend in the UFC, a fighter needs someone to push him to be great. McGregor had Diaz, Jones had Cormier, and Silva had Sonnen. Each series didn't just pit the best against the best, but it matched up rivals that had personal scores to settle. And when the octagon door shut, the bad blood reached a boiling point. Who will be the one to step up and put this feud to rest? Or give up bragging rights once and for all?
Coming up next, it's a UFC light heavyweight division collision. Push that jab once again. Oh, he is mad. Whoa! Back to the feet. And now...
Lands a hard shot with the left.
Huge left hand. Whoa! And just like that, the fight is over.
Beautiful, accurate uppercut for the KO.
Yeah, Joe, I'm not sure if that's the way he drew it up, but a huge result for him here tonight as he gets the win by way of knockout, and that's about as good a one-strike finish as we've seen here in the UFC in recent memory. I'm not even sure the opponent saw it coming, so a big, big win for him here tonight.
We can see it from another angle here. Here's the huge uppercut that lands right on the money and ends this fight. Check out this angle here. I mean, just stiff.
Well, there have got to be few things sweeter, Joe, than winning a rivalry fight like this in the UFC, and you can see the celebration is on, and why not? Huge result for him here tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Excuse me, it's your boy Rome is chilling. Been drinking and partying a little too hard in Las Vegas, Moose. But yeah, man, welcome back to the chilling zone. You see, we are fresh off of our victory over Gian Villante inside our rivalry fight. They disrespected us by not giving us any type of performance of the night, especially when you take a look at this headline that you're about to see. Young ends Villante rivalry with a spectacular knockout. End of story. The balling can now start simmering down. Moose Young can now go on to bigger and better things. We're getting our new contract, our contender contract for 5 fights, $27K to show. We got John Jones on our radar, or more so we're on John Jones's radar. But we get a tweet from Dana White talking about he needs us to fill in for an injured fighter. Now this can go one of two ways, and it's against Glover Teixeira. So let's go ahead and accept this fight. It's a main card fight on UFC 242, I believe it is. So now this is one of the big things that I wanted to discuss. I know the game came out the end of January, beginning of February, depending on if you got the Champions Edition or the regular edition, or if you got Xbox and had EA access or not. But the short notice fight, you only get 2 weeks to train, but they give you that early press promotion for 100 points. Now, obviously, when I first did this, I went ahead and did that. in another previous, I want to say it was my Elijah. It was either Elijah Davis or DJ Dom. That's a long story, but we learned our lesson. So when it came to Moose, we avoided the early press promotion. But you still want to do it unless you want to get fined. So we were able to avoid doing it. We did the other promo. We did the other promo and we got some training in. Now, the one thing that, looking back at this, that I wish I did was, after I did that early promo, is I should have sparred. That's what I should have did next, because I figured if I did enough training, it can build up my fighter fitness. But I believe I'm gonna stay at moderate for this fight, which that wasn't my intention. So you see, when we go to week 2, it still wants to take the 100 points for the early promo. So I went back, said, let me go ahead and train, since I didn't have any other promotion to do. So I just went ahead and did some training. Like I said, this is probably where I probably would have wanted to spar. Excuse me, or either spar in the first week and then do a bunch of training in the second week. So definitely I'll be looking to take that under advisement. Now we got 10 points remaining, and you see the point requirement for the early press promotion dropped down to those 10 points. So at that point, we went ahead and did it. It was the phone into the media press conference. That's press conference call. So we did that the first week. Then we did a bunch of training. So, you know, to optimize those 2 weeks, what I would recommend doing, unless they change it up with any type of updates, is do any other required promotion, and then either train and or spar with the remaining points. Do not do the early press promotion. And then in the second week, do whatever with 90 of that 100 points, and then go ahead and do the press promotion with the 10 points. Now, I'm not sure if it's possible or not, because I know there's certain gyms where they have, I believe, 35 points for particular training drills. I believe it's a couple of gyms that have an option where a particular where a particular drill costs 35 points. Excuse me. Oh man, like I said, this weather in Vegas, the weather changed. I'm back in Brooklyn, New York. You know, Moose Young back in Brooklyn, New York. So the weather kind of changed on him right quick. You know, he thought it was like spring, summery. He come back home. Excuse me, my apologies. I know I could stop this and re-record it and stuff, but I'm just trying to get this out for you guys. But yeah, man, Glover to Shera. I'm still kind of nervous watching this back, and I pretty much already knows what happens, but I'm not trying to give anybody any spoiler alerts. But yeah, it's like, oh man, excuse me. Definitely. I guess that proves the theory that I'm human. It's probably this hoodie that I put on. Probably have to take this hoodie back off. But yeah, I got my Brooklyn. It's where my story begins hoodie on right now. Yeah, but anyway, man, we up in Montreal. Oui, je m'appelle, or something like that. 12-0, 5'8", 190 pounds. Like I said, with this character, we're always gonna be giving up the height and the weight. Now, if it ever comes to going down weight or going up weight, that's definitely something that I wish was more of an option. I know in UFC 2, I believe if you did bad in a particular weight class, you would get the option, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, to drop weight. And then there was also, like, if you accomplished whatever you could accomplish in a particular weight class, then you got an option to move up in weight. So kind of surprised that hasn't been an option yet in the different UFC, the different career modes that I've played so far. And right now, we're trying to go toe to toe. He's blocking and he's doing a lot of defense. I'm doing a lot of moving out the way. Backed up right there, trying to get. We both get decent shots in right there. And you know, it's definitely real tough, like trying to figure out what some of these fighters will do. Definitely, I would say that the difficulty levels will probably determine a lot of what these guys do. But as you can see, I think that was the first time that Moose touched the canvas. Tried to go in for a clinch there because I said I need plan B. I need a plan B. And then we're able to get the single leg in there. So now I'm thinking, okay, let me just ground and pound him, get him out of the octagon. You know, I'm kind of nervous trying to figure out what to do. You saw my little menu pop up real quick. But, you know, I was able not to let that deter me. I thought I had him where I wanted him. But he ended up getting the backside. But then I managed to get the backside. And then finally get him on his back. Sprawls over. I sprawl back, get back over to the backside. And then this happens. 1, 2, 3. You know, that was all luck. I did not remember if it was. I was hoping that countdown. Well, actually, if I would have said 4 and he hit him 4 times. So me starting at 1 is what made it work. If I was started at 3, it said 3, 2, 1, and I was still punching after the 1, then. But yeah, man, like. Once he got to the ground, I don't know what happened. Like once I got the advantage right here, because you saw we were both fighting for the advantage on the ground, which is what I love about UFC. Because if you are diligent enough, all of your fights should not end the same way. Granted, you might win all your fights by submission, you might win all your fights by knockout. You might win all your fights by decision, but none of your fights should end the same way. You shouldn't go a whole career. I'm not saying you have to mix it all up, but like if you're knocking everybody out standing, you might want to change the difficulty. If you beating everybody via ground and pound, you might want to change it. If you're just getting a quick sub, I don't know. That depends. That could be a couple of different things. But we take the short notice fight. We beat Glover. As you see, he had the 22-second advantage, 22-second control. I had 43 seconds of control, and man, like I was glad to get out of there. Because I was half and I don't get a performance of the night. I fight him on short notice, and this is the way Dana White treats me. Alright, fine, whatever. We're gonna now turn our attention to the next string of opponents, hopefully with normal fight camps. And you know, I believe it's 3 more fights. I guess for me to prove myself to be worthy of a fight against John Jones. So this would be definitely interesting to see what we can get done. This is Roman's Chillin'. I'd like to thank you guys for chilling with me here today in the Chillin' Zone. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to comment down below. And as always, chill to the next episode. Let's see what's next. We got Misha Kirkunov. Chillin' out. Moose.